Hualo, the name itself seems to coil in the shadows. It whispers of confinement, of suffering, a place where hope withered, where the sun seemed a distant memory. Its walls were built to contain more than bodies. They were designed to crush spirits. Few places on earth evoke such immediate dread. Its reputation precedes it, a chilling overture to a symphony of pain. The stones of Hualo are saturated, imbued with decades of anguish. Each corridor, each cell, a silent testament to the grim history enacted within. Prepare yourself. We are about to step inside, to walk those haunted corridors. Long before American pilots knew its name, this place had another identity, Maison Centrale, a French colonial prison. Its purpose was unambiguous: to incarcerate, to intimidate, to break the will of the Vietnamese people. Its foundations were laid in 1896. The French constructed it with grim efficiency, on the site of a pottery village, Phu Con Village, hence the name Hualo. For decades it housed political prisoners. Their suffering laid the groundwork for the horrors that would follow. The stage was set. Then came the escalation. The American involvement in Vietnam deepened. American aircraft were shot down, their pilots captured. Hualo Prison found a new grim purpose. It became the primary detention center for American prisoners of war. These men, far from their homes, were thrust into its waiting maw. The next chapter of its misery began. The American POWs, with a stark, bleak humor, coined a new moniker, the Hanoi Hilton, a five-star hotel of suffering. The name was a defense mechanism, a way to cope with the unbearable reality. The Hanoi Hilton quickly became a potent symbol of the war's savage nature. Imagine stepping into a cell. The darkness is immediate, oppressive. The air, stale and thick, often reeking of human waste and despair. The cells were small, typically concrete boxes, perhaps 6 feet by 6 feet, or slightly larger for multiple occupants. A wooden plank, or a cold concrete slab served as a bed. Sometimes nothing at all, just the hard floor. A single, often overflowing bucket in the corner was the only sanitation. This was their world. Light was a scarce commodity. A small barred window high up, if present at all, offered little illumination. Section 5. Instruments of Despair, the Methodology of Torture. Torture at the Hanoi Hilton was not an aberration, it was policy. The prison, infamous for its brutal treatment of prisoners, became a symbol of the extreme measures taken during the Vietnam War. A calculated, systematic approach designed to achieve specific objectives. These objectives were meticulously planned and executed with precision, leaving no room for mercy or compassion. The extraction of military information. Interrogators used every tool at their disposal to break the prisoners' resolve and extract valuable intelligence. The signing of anti-war statements or confessions of war crimes. Prisoners were often coerced into making false confessions or statements that served the captors' propaganda purposes. The breaking of a prisoner's will to resist, and the enforcement of absolute obedience. This was achieved through relentless psychological and physical torment. The methods were diverse, cruel, and relentlessly applied. From beatings to starvation, the captors employed a wide range of techniques to inflict maximum suffering. The use of ropes was prevalent and agonizing. Prisoners were often tied in ways that caused immense pain and suffering. Prisoners were bound in excruciating positions. These positions were designed to cause maximum discomfort and pain over extended periods. Arms cinched tightly behind their backs. This method not only restricted movement but also caused severe muscle and joint pain. Ropes cutting deep into flesh. The ropes would often leave deep, lasting scars, both physical and psychological, sometimes hoisted or forced into contortions that dislocated joints. These extreme positions could lead to permanent physical damage. The rope trick left men with permanent nerve damage and seared memories of unbearable pain. The psychological scars were often as deep as the physical ones. Beatings were a daily reality for many. The constant threat of violence hung over the prisoners, creating an atmosphere of perpetual fear and anxiety. Section 6. Whispers from the dark cells, voices of the imprisoned, Commander James Stockdale, a senior naval officer. His name became synonymous with resilience. Captured in 1965, he endured years of brutal torture, including leg irons that crippled him, and relentless beatings. Lieutenant Commander Jeremiah Denton. During a televised interview in 1966, Denton, while speaking, blinked his eyes in Morse code, spelling out TORTURE, a clandestine message to the world, exposing the lie of humane treatment. Colonel Robinson Reisner, an Air Force ace. He was among the first wave of pilots imprisoned. Reisner faced some of the most severe torture. Section 7. Echoes of Defiance, the Unbreakable Spirit. Despite the overwhelming brutality and the systematic attempts at dehumanization, the prisoners of Hualo resisted. Their defiance took many forms, often subtle, always dangerous. The most vital tool of resistance was communication. The tap code, a complex system of taps on walls, representing letters of the alphabet, became their lifeline, connecting isolated men, allowing them to share information, offer encouragement, and maintain morale, a secret language of survival. Through this clandestine network, they maintained a chain of command. Section 8. The Price of Survival. Wounds, seen and unseen. Freedom, when it finally came, was not the end of the ordeal. For many, it was just the beginning of a new struggle. The joy of reuniting with loved ones was often overshadowed by the weight of their experiences. For the men who survived the Hanoi Hilton, the return home marked the beginning of a different kind of battle. They had endured unimaginable hardships, and now they faced the challenge of reintegrating into a world that had moved on without them. The return home marked the beginning of a new, often difficult chapter. The physical scars were a constant reminder of their suffering. Broken bones and damaged joints were just the surface of their pain. The physical scars, broken bones, damaged joints, emaciation, these were visible reminders of their years of torment. Many would live with chronic pain and permanent disabilities. Emaciation, these were visible reminders of their years of torment. Many would live with chronic pain and permanent disabilities. The body remembered the abuse even if the mind tried to forget, but it rarely could. These were visible reminders of their years of torment. Many would live with chronic pain and permanent disabilities. The body remembered the abuse. Many would live with chronic pain and permanent disabilities. The body remembered the abuse even if the mind tried to forget, but it rarely could. The body remembered the abuse even if the mind tried to forget, but it rarely could. The psychological wounds ran deeper and proved more tenacious, even if the mind tried to forget. But it rarely could. The psychological wounds ran deeper and proved more tenacious. Post-traumatic stress disorder, though not always diagnosed as such then, was rampant. The psychological wounds ran deeper and proved more tenacious. Post-traumatic stress disorder, though not always diagnosed as such then, was rampant. Nightmares replayed the horrors. Flashbacks transported them back. Post-traumatic stress disorder, though not always diagnosed as such then, was rampant. Nightmares replayed the horrors. Flashbacks transported them back. The struggle to find peace and normalcy was a daily battle, one that many continued to fight long after the war had ended. Section 9. Scars on History's Canvas, the Enduring Legacy. Today, a portion of Hualo Prison stands as a museum. This museum serves as a poignant reminder of the past, encapsulating the complex history of Vietnam within its walls. Located in the heart of Hanoi, it draws tourists from all over the world. Both Vietnamese and international visitors come to explore its storied halls. They are curious to glimpse into its notorious past, to understand the layers of history that have unfolded within its confines. The presentation, however, is curated, sanitized. The exhibits are carefully arranged to convey a particular narrative. The focus is heavily on the French colonial era, showcasing artifacts and photographs from that tumultuous time. And the Vietnamese struggle for independence is prominently featured, highlighting the resilience and determination of the Vietnamese people. The section detailing the imprisonment of American POWs is often criticized. Critics argue that it downplays the severity of the conditions and the systematic torture that took place. For downplaying the severity of the conditions and the systematic torture, the harsh realities faced by the prisoners are sometimes glossed over. The stones, however, tell no lies. The weathered walls and old prison stones stand as silent witnesses to the suffering endured within. The legacy of the Hanoi Hilton is complex and contested. Different perspectives on its history lead to ongoing debates about its true legacy. For Vietnam, it represents a site of resistance against French colonialism. It is a symbol of their enduring fight for freedom, and later a symbol of their struggle for independence. The enduring legacy of Hoa Lo Prison continues to evoke strong emotions and reflections on the past.